2 Corinthians chapter 3, beginning in verse 1. Do we begin again to commend ourselves? ? Or need we, as some others, epistles of commendation to you, or letters of commendation from you? You are our epistles written in our hearts, known and read of all men. For as much as you are manifestly declared to be the epistle of Messiah ministered by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not in tables of stone, but in fleshly tables of the heart. And such trust have we through Messiah to Godward. Not that we are sufficient of ourselves to think anything of ourselves, but our sufficiency is of God. God working through us. All things are possible through Messiah who strengthens us. So with the Holy Spirit given to those who obey God, you've got the Holy Spirit of truth to lead you into all truth. Verse 6, 2 Corinthians 3, who also hath made us able ministers of the New Testament, not of the letter, the sacrificial law to the letter. It's physical circumcision, customs, washing of pots, and the punishment added for transgression. Galatians 3:19, Colossians 2:14. It's referring to the handwritten ordinances, Deuteronomy 31:24 through 26, added to the Holy Covenant. But of the Spirit, for the letter killeth, handwritten ordinances, but the Spirit giveth life. Verse 7, but if the ministration of death, that's the sacrificial law, the law of sin and death, written and engraven in stones in Joshua's time, those commandments, the 10 commandments, as well as the sacrificial law, were engraven on stone. That's what this is referring to. It's not talking about the tablets of stone written by the finger of God in Deuteronomy and now written on our hearts. No, it's talking about the sacrificial law. If the ministration of death, sacrificial law, written and engraven in stones in Joshua's time was glorious, so that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance, which glory was to be done away with. See, the sacrificial law, Galatians 3:19, was to be done away with. How shall not the ministration of the Spirit be rather glorious? Well, let's see what Paul has to say about this. Romans 7:12. Wherefore the law, 10 commandments, is holy. Not the sacrificial law. The sacrificial law isn't holy, just, and good. Wherefore the law is holy, the commandment holy and just and good. In verse 7:14, Paul says, for we know that the Holy Covenant is spiritual. That's the spiritual nature of the Holy Covenant. It's 10 commandments. They are there and they have been there from the beginning. So in Acts 24:14, Paul says, but this I confess unto thee, that after the way which they call heresy, so worship I the God of my fathers, believing all things which are written in the law and in the prophets. So what's this ministration of death in 2 Corinthians 3:7? That's the ministry of condemnation in the same chapter. It's the law of sin and death. The sacrificial law, the law of sin and death, not the 10 commandments, which is the Holy Covenant given at Horeb, but the ministration of righteousness. That's the everlasting Holy Covenant given at Horeb, 10 commandments. It still remaineth. Now, what did it say in Joshua to confirm this? Joshua 8, verse 32. And he wrote there upon the stones a copy of the law of Moses, which he wrote in the presence of the children of Israel. And afterward he read all the words of the law, the blessings and the cursings, according to all that is written in the book, handwritten ordinances, written in a book by Moses, placed on the outside of the ark, Deuteronomy 31:24 through 26, and Deuteronomy 29, verse 1. Ezekiel refers to this in Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 25. These are laws that are contrary to us that we are not to live in because they are punishment for building that golden calf. Verse 35, Joshua 8:35. There was not a word of all that Moses commanded which Joshua read not before all the congregation. So he put it all on stone in Joshua's time. Back to 2 Corinthians 3 now. Verse 7, we'll reread it. Paul is saying that these Israelites, they followed the letter of the law and not by faith, not by faithfulness to keep the Holy Covenant. If you keep the Holy Covenant, there's no need for any of these ordinances. Those ordinances are punishment for breaking the Holy Covenant. The glory of Yeshua surpasses the glory of the sacrificial law. He's the messenger of the Holy Covenant. Malachi 4:4, Malachi 3:1. It doesn't mean that the Holy Ten Commandments are nullified, as Christians wrongly assume. It means that the sacrificial law was finished and that the Holy Covenant, the Ten Commandments, the everlasting covenant, the everlasting gospel, Revelation 14:6, it remains. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9, for if the ministration of condemnation, sacrificial law, be glory, much more doth the ministration of righteousness, there it is, 10 commandments, that's God's righteousness. Therefore, the ministration of righteousness exceeds in the glory of the sacrificial law. Verse 10, for even that which was made glorious had no glory in this respect, by reason of the glory that excelleth, 10 commandments, holy covenant. For that which is done away with, sacrificial law, if that was glorious, much more that which remains, that 10 commandments remains. John 19:30, Messiah said, it is finished. What's finished? Sacrificial law. What remains? The 10 commandments, including the seventh-day Sabbath from dawn to dawn. It is written, we must keep the 10 commandments, we must eat clean, and fulfill the royal law by rebuking people like you who have been misled and who have been deceived by the apostate church.